Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. Hey y'all, it is Tuesday, September 10th. And in my last life update video, I told you guys that I was wanting to work part-time so I could focus on trading, put in more chart time, continue to develop and perfect my strategy, and also get my businesses back on the ground in a different way in which they were previously. So I'll have updates on that later on. I have to buy a camera tonight off Amazon so I can get that part of my life rejuvenated. So anyway, I told you guys in that video that I had to transition my strategy from CQG using price-based candles to NinjaTrader so that I could from time-based candles on CQG to NinjaTrader so I could use price-based bars, which is Rinkos. So in doing that, I used a lot of the same settings in certain indicators that I kept. Initially, I kept the same settings, and then over time, I just had to kind of tweak it and tweak it and tweak it. And now I feel like if it's not all the way perfect, it's like right there, like right there. So I want to show you guys let me just show you guys the trades thus far that I've done. So I switched over on August 20th. I'm going to show you guys the trades, and then I'm going to show you guys the trade performance thing so I can show you what my net profit is, my profit percentage. And I'm also included in this is a trade I took this morning. Yes. So yeah, I think I'm like right there, y'all. Like I really feel like I'm at the point where if this strategy stays consistent the way that it is, I'm going to reach millionaire status because of trading. Yeah, and using the money from this to invest in other stuff and stuff like that. Okay, so let me stop rambling. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch you guys around. So this is the first trade here that I took, and this happened on August 23rd. And basically I was in a buy and I closed it 0.75 points in profit. And at that time I think I didn't realize the actual cross of my indicators and stuff. Like I partially missed it, number one. And then, but I still got in at the right price. But at the time, one of my indicators, I didn't have my settings tweaked just yet. But had I had those settings tweaked, when I went back to back test it, I basically would have ended up getting 11 points out of this trade right here. So I ended up closing right here, and I would have actually ended up closing I think like somewhere up here somewhere. So later on that day, I took another trade. This one, I actually put the pending in at the wrong price, and had I put it in at the right price, I would have ended up losing this trade anyway. As you guys can see, it just went down from there. But I ended up closing at like 0.5 points in profit when I realized that my pending was in the wrong place. And then also I was just like, you know what? I've kind of been on the you only need to take one trade a day type of vibe. So I would have technically not lost this trade had I just stuck with my one a day thing. All right, so moving on. This is the 26th. I do not get a trade set up every single day, and I'm okay with that because my goal is 10 to 15 points per week, and I'm going to show you guys a chart and why I say 10 to 15 points per week is adequate enough for me. Okay, so here, this was on the 26th, like I said, and this one I actually won 3 points. Or did I lose? No, I actually lost 3 points. So I sold, and yeah, I sold right here, and it ended up going 3 points against me. My stop loss is now 3 points instead of 2 points. So one of the things at this point is that I realized that when my trade confirms after 1 o'clock, and this one confirmed at 101 and 52 seconds that I'm probably going to lose. I like that though, because that forces me to get out of the market. But like, I don't have to still be watching the charts. If nothing pops off by 1 o'clock, I'm out. Now, if the confirmation happens, let's say at 12:30, but my pending doesn't get hit, my pending order doesn't get hit until 1:30, that's fine. That one still works out. It's just it can't confirm the trade after 1 o'clock. All right, so moving on. Now, this is the 30th. And so this trade, I actually won 4 points. At this point, I did not have my exit strategy completely perfected yet. So I kind of got out too early. Had I had it completely perfected, I would have ended up closing for 19 points in profit. I would have ended up closing, let's see, 29, 20, 75. I would have closed down here, right? Instead of all the way up here. 19 points in one day, you guys. All right, so moving on. This is the 3rd. So that was last week. This one, I ended up losing the trade. So I tried to sell here. It went up against me and lost. And then guess what? Dummy KeAmber. Look, I ended up taking a second trade that day. Lost that one too. So that particular day, I lost twice. So I lost 6 points that day. And the thing is, I guess it was just kind of like, oh, you know, well, I've made more tweaks, so maybe it's not as important anymore. No, basically with my strategy, if it doesn't work the first time, it ain't gonna work. Okay? It just ain't gonna work. And when it does work out the first time, most of the time the market, like, I'm getting in with the bigger market moves. And most of the time, by the time I'm out of the trade, there's not very much to, like, there's not enough movement and retracement that happens for the rest of the session in order for me to be able to get another trade out, basically. Okay, so now we are here, and this is on the 4th. This particular day, I won 8.5 points. And I actually could have got a little bit more out of this because I ended up closing it like a couple of minutes before the market closed because my exit strategy hadn't popped off yet, but I want to close the trade by 3:15. And had I just waited till like a couple of seconds before the market closed, I could have got like another, I think, 1.5 or I think it was like 1.25 points that I could have gotten more out of that. But you guys can see I bought here and I sold there. So now we move on to today. And I'm actually going to make this a 5-minute chart since this is today. So as you guys can see, it's been a clear downtrend. It's been downtrending since 29.91.75. And I was able to get in for a buy. And I'm just going to increase the size of this so you guys can see. So I got in at the white line here on this 5-minute bar. This was my stop loss, this red line here. You guys can see I rode it all the way up and I ended up selling right here. So the down and up arrows are not where that's just like indicating which candle it happened on, but the sideways arrows tell you exactly where you got in and out. So that was a pretty substantial move, and that was actually 8.75 points. So let me go ahead and go into the trade performance. And after this, you guys will see me a little bit later this week when I take another trade. It won't be as long as like this intro part because, you know, this is like a summary of what's been going on. So let me change the dates. And I'm going to go back to August 20th when I switched over. Let's generate that. So you guys can see that my net profit is $67.5 or $67.50. And I've taken 8 trades. So I think I might have missed a trade maybe when I was traveling. And even then, so this should be 7 trades and I should be 5-2. But remember that one day I took the second loss that day. But either way, my percent of profitability right now is 62.5%, which is not too shabby, you guys. Like, that's not bad at all. And my goal has always to be at least 60%. So let me do, if I didn't have that second trade in there, 5 divided by 7, I would be 71% accurate right now, which is pretty freaking decent. And like I said, I think that I've completely perfected it, but I can't say for sure yet. So just stay tuned. If I should have, typically my strategy sets up at least 2 to 3 times a week. And if I can get 8 points, 10 points, I mean, you know, a pop twice a week, and even with if I had a 3-point loss in there once a week, that's fine too. Like, as long as I'm profiting 10 to 15 points per week, that's honestly all I really care about. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. So let me show you guys the chart I was telling you guys about and why 10 to 15 points per week is my goal. So this is what you would make weekly, monthly, and yearly if you profit 10 to 15 points per week. So at one contract, you're looking at $36,000 a year. And this is not on the micro account that I'm on right now. This would be if I'm back on the E-mini, which eventually I will get back to because my strategy will work on either one. I mean, it's literally, the market moves the exact same. It just might be like a tick or 2 off. It's really not a big deal. For 5 contracts per year, that's $120,000 to $180,000 a year. Now, right now, I'm only risking 2.5% of my account, but if my profitability stays high, I'll probably risk 5%. And you have to think about it. I'm doing a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio for the most part. Sometimes it's only 1 to 2, but a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, risking 3 points, gaining 9, 8, 7, whatever. That's pretty good, especially with that profitability. Now, 10 contracts, I'm looking at $240,000 to $360,000 a year, you guys. I'm wanting to get to this point, this monthly amount, by December of 2020. And I think I'll be able to do that. So that's it for me, at least for today. If I get into any more trades later this week, I'll let y'all know. I'm kind of afraid because I work tomorrow night. And Thursday morning when I get off, I have a class from 7 to 9. And I hope that freaking strategy does not set up in those little short, really hour. Because it's 30 minutes when the market opens to when I get out of class. But then it takes me 30 minutes to get home. And honey, if I miss the trade because of these people. So I will see y'all later this week if anything else pops up. If not, I'll just come out and do the outro on Friday. So it's the next day. It's Tuesday, September 11th. Yeah, September 11th. And I currently have pending orders in. I think there's a way for me to actually, I don't know how to put it in right now. But anyway, the white line is where my pending order for the buy is currently. The red line is the stop loss. And this blue line up here, basically when it hits this break even level, I delete the pending order. But I trade based on the price-based candles I told you guys. And with that price-based candle, it has to open at this line and close above it in order for me to delete this pending order, and it has not done that. So the order still stands, and whether I delete it or it gets hit, I win, I lose, I will show you guys the results. Hey y'all, so you can see that this bar right here opens at the blue line and then closed above it. So I'm about to go in and delete the pending orders. Oh, this thing. Isn't the auto? Turn that off.
Order canceled. Order canceled.
Hey y'all, so I can't remember what's the last day I seen you guys? It might have been Friday, don't remember, but I didn't want to end the vlog where it was. I'm just going into my account really quick. It's actually Tuesday the 17th. I haven't had any trades this week thus far, but I just want to go in and show you guys the numbers for last week, and we'll end the vlog that way. So I'm just going into my account, and last week was the 8th through the 14th. So 8 through 14, generate. So here are the statistics for last week. And if it'll focus. Can you focus? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, but I don't want the tracking on. There we go. Okay, so the total net profit is the $43.75. That's the gross profit as well. And you guys can see I took one trade last week and I was 100% profitable. And that's really that. So the way that my new strategy is, it's pretty accurate, but it doesn't set up all the time, and I'm okay with that, because this is what you guys have to understand. That one trade was like 8.75 points. My goal is 10 to 15 points a week. So I just missed it. That 8.75 points, once I get back on the e-mini, because right now I'm doing the micro account. So on the e-mini, it's $50 per point, right? So, and let me show y'all this math. So I did 8.75 points times $50 per point. And let's say I'm at the point where we can even stop here. If I did this every week, that's $2,000 a month, right? 4 times, yeah. Or no, $1,600 a month, because we'll do 4 weeks. That's not too bad considering I'm just starting out. You know what I mean? Now, once we get to the point where, let's say I'm at 5 contracts per trade, that one trade, even if I get one trade per week and I'm able to get that almost 9 points, that's $2,000 a week. So that's the part that I have to remember, because sometimes I'm like, man, it's just one trade. But I have to think about my point profit and where it'll be once my account has continued to compound. Eventually, I'm going to probably put like another $1,000 or so into this account once I'm completely comfortable and feel like my strategy is as accurate as it can be. That way I can kind of accelerate my compound process. But I just wanted to leave you guys there. So the total net profit was 8.75 points, which is $43.75. If you subtract it's $1.22 per contract. So really it was $42.53 that I made last week. Again, if I was on the regular e-mini account, that would be $425. And once I start compounding with more contracts, it'll even be better. So that's where we're at. See you guys next